Hello all and welcome to another round, the 200th episode. Never once did I assume this channel would get to this point ever, but here we are. Look at that view! You know, having a YouTube channel like this, for as long as I've had it, I've learned that it can get pretty stressful and at times it can get very, very discouraging. But the number one thing that I've learned to be the most important is that you 100% have to enjoy it. You know, like I've said many times on this channel, maybe even too many times, I started this channel in the first place because, you know, I was a fan of gamer channels and I wanted to have fun, and I love gaming and I love making videos. It's what I went to school for. But I won't lie, you know, this journey has had its fair share of stressful and discouraging bumps along the way, to the point where there were a few times where it wasn't even really feeling fun anymore. But I will continue to rediscover the fun that is this channel with monumental moments like this. I mean, 200 episodes? Holy crap. And also the support of you guys. I mean, look at all that has happened since episode 1. Gotten more subscribers, played some great games, teamed up with the awesome Deadscreen.net, and I even saved an old friend from a video game who is now my faithful sidekick. How's it going, Barry?
You said it, Paul.
Anyway, for the 200th episode, I wanted to do something special. So today, I'm going to share with you my top 10 favorite video games of all time.
Wow! You know the 10 greatest games of all time?
No. Don't get me wrong. This is not a list of video games that I think are the top 10 greatest video games of all time. These are just my personal top 10 favorite that made me feel something, you know? That keep me coming back. All paired with my absolute all-time favorite beer, Bo's Lugtread Lagered Ale. You say, whoa, where'd you pull that from? I'm just going, wouldn't you like to know? When I say all-time favorite beer, I mean it. As in, if I could only drink one beer for the rest of my life, this is the one. I swear I'm not being biased, but brewed in my home province of Ontario, local spring water, organic barley, wheat malts, organic hops, brewer's yeast. Oh, in a word, perfection. But getting back on track. Barry, start us off.
Number 10.
Now, when you think horror game and GameCube, some may jump the gun and say, and sure, GameCube had Resident Evil 0, and Star Fox Adventures, but they were nothing compared to the psychological horror of Eternal Darkness. The game easily stands today as one of GameCube's greatest games in general, and it's one of the scariest games I've ever played in my life. It was a time when you'd play a game while not having access to proper internet or a guidebook, so you'd have to use your smarts as you entered rooms and turned corners, having absolutely zero clue of what could be waiting. There were actually times I had to call my friends on one of these to get help with spells or puzzles, and the sanity meter. Let it go too low and the game would start messing with you, the player, in all sorts of crazy ways. What's not to love?
Number 9.
The Lord of the Rings, The Third Age. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, Phil, your video was going so well. But come on now, we've all got our guilty pleasures, and this is definitely one of mine. And also, don't knock it till you've tried it. Overall, The Third Age received mixed to positive reviews. It was actually praised by most for its graphics, and this is a prime example of a game that made me feel something. I'm not a die-hard fan of the Lord of the Rings trilogy like the one screaming blasphemy at the screen right now, but while battling my way through Middle-earth, just a short journey behind the Fellowship, I was in awe every time I saw a familiar name or met a new friend. I loved this game so much, I owned it back in 2005, traded it away out of frustration of not being able to beat it, and then searched the depths of eBay just to buy it again a couple years ago. Welcome home, old friend.
Should I leave you two alone?
Shut up!
Number 8.
Super Mario Strikers. It was only 100 videos ago that I shared with you guys my love of this game, and I don't even know what it is. The pacing, these moments. The fact that everyone looks like they came to play. And nothing beats the epic 4-player co-op moments when you're all dead silent, focused, passing like a true team, and then...
Number 7.
The Super Smash Bros. Series. It was impossible to pick just one. Wii U. But how could someone not like this entire series? I mean, it's got everything. The perfect fighting layout, great story adventure modes, trophies you can admire. Talking to you 13-year-olds, I know what you do. And of course, the video game All-Stars. I've got a soft spot for movies and video games with famous characters who would never normally meet or interact but finally do because of reasons. Just makes my heart skip a beat. Kingdom Hearts, Mortal Kombat, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Number 6.
Dokapon Kingdom. Some of you are probably saying, what? And yeah, I said the same thing. But when a really good friend brought this game into my life, it was the best, worst thing that ever happened to me. The back of the case clearly states it as the friendship-destroying game, and that is not an exaggeration. Dokapon is a hybrid board game and role-playing game. Pick a class and battle your way through many worlds to earn the princess's hand in marriage. While it is best played with 3 other friends, the game's duration heavily depends on how you play alongside said friends, and let's just say I'm glad we played semi-civilly. That way it only took 4 weekends to beat instead of what could have been an eternity. Oh, and don't mistake any of those facts as complaints. I loved every minute of it. It is truly an insane world where anything can happen. A robot assassin for hire. A tiny bat that appears over your head which is summoning you to a lair at the outskirts of the kingdom. Also, you can sell your soul to your best worst friend Weber and turn into a fearsome creature that'll help you regain the lead. Oh, you can also turn your friend's hair to poo.
Number 5.
Zelda Majora's Mask. Ever heard of it? The sequel to the oh-so-famous Ocarina of Time. And let's all just calm down and put down our inhalers because of course I love Ocarina of Time. But Majora's Mask in my mind just brought on the perfect combination of fear, wonder, adventure, and a weird sense of pressure. With the whole 3-day time limit, intricate puzzles, head-scratching dungeons, including the dreaded Water Temple, I was feeling the weight of that horrifying moon on my own shoulders. And there'd be those moments where you lost track of time, it'd be the 3rd day, and you'd be like, I was so excited for that game as a kid, I kept saving my allowance and bought it, knowing full well you needed the N64 expansion pack to play it, and I didn't have one. My new quest? Start saving my allowance again and buy that pack. But then, it happened. Literally 3 days later, my dad arrived home from work, requested a drink from the fridge, I opened it, and there it was.
Number 4.
Speaking of my soft spot for games with characters who would never normally meet or interact but finally do because of reasons, The Wolf Among Us is one of the best. Based on the great stories of Fables by Bill Willingham, The Wolf Among Us is a work of art. With its gritty 80s style that is not overdone, the interrogation moments that can change the outcome of your story, and dozens of interesting characters that you actually grow to genuinely care about. Oh, and not to mention the 10 to 20 holy crap moments that happen every installment.
Number 3.
I choose the impossible. I built a city where the artist would not fear the censor.
What is there to say about Bioshock that hasn't already been said? It's a near-perfect game. It is one of those monumental experiences you will never forget. I could never say enough great things about it. It perfectly combines my love of steampunk and my fear of the deep sea, and oh my god, the soundtrack.
Oh my god, the soundtrack.
Oh my god, the soundtrack. Oh my god, the soundtrack. Oh my god, this has gone on for too long.
It got weird at some point. Number 2.
After all we've been through, everything that I've done, it can't be for nothing.
Okay, you had to have known this was coming. With practically perfect reviews across the board, The Last of Us is powerful, emotionally draining, and one of the finest gaming experiences that possibly has no equal. The characters are so real, it's almost as if you're watching a movie with performances that will stick with you forever. A superb combat system, risk and reward, stealth, unsteady aim, horrifying enemies, and the feels! Oh my god, the feels! The masterpiece that is The Last of Us is one of the main reasons why I bought a PS4 in the first place, and it alone made it all well worth it. Before we finish this list off with the game in the number 1 spot, I thought we would take a moment and look at some honorable mentions that didn't quite make the cut.
I bet Phantasmagoria's in there because of me, right?
Oh, Barry. No.
Number 1.
Batman Arkham City. Now, I'm not exactly sure if this whole list has been in any, particular written in stone 100% order, but for me, the number 1 spot had to be given to Batman Arkham City. To me, this game is absolutely perfect. For starters, I am a huge fan of Batman and his universe, but this game brings more than that. The story is just brilliant. The game actually makes you feel like the main character. I felt the developers just got so many things right. The combat, the gadgets, the greatest villains, and hidden references to about 30 more. It is no wonder it's been considered the best superhero game of all time. The first one was great, but felt a little small. The third one was great, but didn't make me feel much. And no offense to the voice actors, but it's not easy matching the magic that is Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. The game is simply special to me. I felt elements of the animated series, the darkness of famous comic titles, and even a pinch of Christopher Nolan flair. The moment I knew it was my number 1 was probably when I legitimately 100% did not see the ending coming by a long shot. Not to mention the perfectly chilling moment when Mark Hamill's Joker begins to sing during the final credits.
Only you can make this world seem right.
Beautifully, hauntingly perfect. It has got to be my prime example of a game that made me feel something and still to this day keeps me coming back. Well, there you have it. My top 10 favorite games of all time. I mean, at least so far. And again, all these games are just the top 10 best in my opinion. They are all experiences that I will take and treasure for my entire life. Some may think that sounds weird or dumb, but they're all grand adventures in my mind, and I don't see anything wrong with an adventurous escape from the mundane world. I guess all there is left to say is thanks for watching, thanks for the support, and Barry, you got anything?
Here's to 200 more.
To 200 more. Cheers.